she's coming to receive treatment, and she believes that when she goes back, she will then begin to improve. That's what she believes. But when I'm ministering to a person, you come to a point where when you continue praying, when you continue healing the sick, you do that every time. There is a way that you begin to feel when you are ministering to the sick. You begin to participate in the miracle. Obviously knowing that it's God doing those miracles, but there is a level of participation. The power that God is using to heal the person, it is the power of God, but it is God is transmitting his power through you. You are the vessel. You are the instrument that God is using. So there comes a point where you are given that privilege by the Holy Spirit to feel when power is flowing out of you, just like when Jesus said, somebody has touched me, because he had felt virtue or power coming out of him. You see, when he said, I felt power coming out of me, he's not saying I no longer have any power left. But what he felt was a movement, the flow of the power. So he could tell that I think there was a person somewhere with a need, and I felt power leaving my body. So when I'm praying for the person and I feel that, I also have to convince myself that something has entered into this person. What is it? And what should happen next? So then, I'm so confident that this person is supposed to walk. Maybe also prophetically, I might have seen the person in the spirit even before the day. So I'm very confident, just like all of you here, even if, you know, it's so difficult to go to a place where you know there is a dead person and you want to raise that person from the dead. It's so difficult, but when you have seen it before, God has given you information, the name of the person, the date, the place, and you get to the place, you see exactly the person that you have seen in the spirit. You become extremely confident because you are just there. You have been there before. So it's like the second time. It's a replay of what you have already seen. So you know I've already prayed for this person. I saw this person walking. So why is she still lying on the floor? You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. Have you realized that most of the people, though they desire so much the things of the Spirit, but it's not easy for them to receive the things of the Spirit. What they find easy to receive are the things of the flesh. And that's why sometimes we allow the flesh to also participate. And we are approaching them from an angle where they also believe. Majority of the people, most people, they have asked for prayer. And when I shake their hands, or when I even give them just a tap at the back, they will still wait for the prayer. So you have to really do to make sure that the prayer becomes physical. So the person appreciates that I've been prayed for. You're dealing with a physical person. Most of him is physical. So no matter what you do in the Spirit, I've heard people saying, even after declaring, I prophesy to people, I minister to people, you see miracles, all sorts of miracles happening. And then I would declare right there that you don't have to worry anymore. If you had any problem, I'm just giving that problem only 2 days. It will be over. And even after saying that, you still hear another person screaming over there, please, prophet, help me. And what do? You have to physically invite the person and physically meet with the person and physically discuss. Because maybe she has faith, but she has faith in the physical. Just like Naaman. Remember Naaman, he said, I thought the man of God should have come out and stretched his hand on the area that is affected. That's physical again. So when I'm dealing with people that are too physical, there are moments when the Holy Spirit will ask you to physically minister to them, and so on. It is believed, even scientifically, that most of the people, even out there, if a doctor just comes and he doesn't touch you, you don't feel okay. There are people like that. The more the doctor comes and is touching him and so on, the quicker he recovers. So there are people like that, no matter what you do in the spirit, they will still not respond. But you saw her, she was lying there. She was already healed. When I ministered, I knew it was done. But I was trying to also help. Because even when I tried, if you look at it, I tried several times. She couldn't even stand. And to me, it was even amazing because she was so thin and yet so heavy. So heavy. The legs were actually cold. It was as if the legs are frozen. They couldn't even bend. I think it was more than 4 times. Tried to pick her up. Still she was falling. Picked her up again. She didn't have any strength. So if I tried, if you saw me doing that more than 5 times, and then later on it worked, even physically it was almost failing. You can imagine if I was just to leave her there. So I might have done it physically, but you see, those results, no matter how many times you do it physically, it doesn't work. It still has to be spiritual. And if you are starting, I wouldn't also encourage you to do it that way. The spiritual way is much more preferable because then you don't have problems with people. Really, for sure, in certain parts of the world, a person can actually sue you for that. People nowadays can do that. You can walk to a person, pick him up from the wheelchair and so on. And a person can sue you for that. When you're ministering to people, that's why the Holy Spirit has to be present every time. So you know exactly what to do. That situation that you're talking about, those ones are too critical. Guys, I appreciate you. I love you so much, but I wouldn't want you to start with those cases. It's not really healthy. I know. You know, with our people, they don't care how many people you have ministered to before. They will wait until that moment. You pray for 100 people, and then at 101, if they don't see anything happening, that's what they can remember. So apart from the gift of healing, the gift of faith has to be present. You should be a woman of faith. A woman of faith. Even when I was trying to pick it up every day, I looked at the people. I want to be frank with you. I could see that people were actually feeling pity, not for her, but for me. I can tell you, that's why you ended up crying. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. It's because of the love that you have for me, and you didn't want such a thing to happen. And when it happened, oh, you were so happy. Happy for her, and also happy for me. That's why you end up hearing people saying, I think these things are staged. Because to them,